It's time for The Scraphouse with Austen Lane and Kasey Kuhrts on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
He's back.
Defending home court advantage once again.
It's been a while.
Hey,
We've been on the road for a
while.
minute.
We've been clawing, being the away team, bad connections, microphones vibrating, not vibrating, but reverbing.
We're like the Rays. If we're at home, we're in a minor league stadium, but more times than not, we're on the damn road.
Hey, are you guys going to have a home, by the way, or what's going on with that? With the Rays?
Unconfirmed.
Okay, gotcha.
Everywhere is home. I mean,
Jacksonville, man, let's go.
Depending on how you look at it, everyone on Earth is home for the Rays. But
That's a good point.
Back in action in the studio after you've been all over Earth, but good to have you back. I assume next weekend for the foreseeable future you'll be somewhere else in the world. Or?
Casey, you would think so, man, but I think I got my snowboarding in for the year, so I'm feeling pretty comfortable with it. So you might see me back here next Wednesday as well. Don't want to make any promises or anything.
Might go 2 for 2.
Might go 2 for 2 here. Might be a nice home game stand. You know, like best of 7, and maybe we'll defend 3 games here.
I like the sound of that. So we just got to win one on the road.
We just got to win one on the road eventually.
All right.
Just get a better connection.
We'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do with that. Speaking of people that are not at home, WWE.
Not even close.
Brussels and somewhere else that I already
Spain. I'm not sure where in Spain, but
Barcelona, I believe.
Barcelona. There we go. Yeah.
I've got nothing to say on either of those places.
I was gonna question you on this.
I mean, I don't have much. I mean,
when I hear Brussels, I think of Brussels sprouts.
Agreed.
And not very appetizing.
Agreed. They were rocking though.
But I'll tell you what was appetizing. Yeah, the crowd interaction. Like I think both. Would you say that Brussels was better than Barcelona? I mean, they're both great. Don't get me wrong.
Brussels was raw.
Yeah,
yes.
Correct. Yeah.
I just think they had a lot more going on.
They kind of had a lot more to cheer for, though, as well, I feel like.
Yeah, they had a lot more of a role to play than the crowd at SmackDown. The crowd at SmackDown did their part, but obviously with the John Cena, Cody Rhodes thing on Raw, that crowd had a bigger part of the story to tell, and they definitely did their part in that. We'll get to Raw in a second, though. We'll start with SmackDown. LA Knight, your new sort of returning United States champion. I was interested to see how that was going to go. Because the one thing about like the European stuff is like, because when they do the European tours, usually we don't see it.
Sure.
Or we see like one SmackDown or something. So you don't really know how people feel about people.
That's a good point.
As it turns out, LA Knight resonates all the way in Europe as well.
I mean, this is the thing about, and why I like the kind of like the European tours and everything, because it seems like every single wrestler, whether it's LA Knight or Axiom, they get bumps. You know what I'm saying? Like they get elevated a little bit, and LA Knight got a pretty big elevation. Yeah,
they were excited to see him. He was out there ready to talk some smack when, of all people, Jimmy Uso said, "Hold on, cut that." And I was like, you know what? I could get on board with something like this.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Not necessarily my first choice, but I could get on board with it. And then I still call him the New Bloodline, but it's really just Solo and Jacob and Tonga. I guess the other Tonga's never coming back.
What was because we've talked about it like 10 times in the show. What was the injury with him again?
Was it an arm?
Broken arm or like wrist or something?
I thought it was something like that.
Which is
shoulder?
Kind of crazy because you can still have a full work. Like you don't have to wrestle, obviously, but you can still like make appearances. Bro's
nowhere.
No.
He's probably in the next round of cuts. We just don't know it yet.
Oh, don't say that now. Maybe just chilling and catering. I mean, as long as we got that's all we need, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, according to the internet, everybody's on the same page. Where is Bro? And nobody has the answer for Tongaloa. So I guess we'll see you maybe in AEW. Only time will tell. But anyway, they came out to do their thing as they do, and Braun Strowman then, of course, gets involved. And being a good general manager that Nick Aldis is, we got a match early on. Not as early as last week when there was no talking, just straight into a match. Braun Strowman, LA Knight, Jimmy Uso, the most ragtag bunch of guys that you could possibly have.
Who are you telling?
I mean, just people that do not seem like they would be friends.
Correct.
Outside of this.
Yeah.
And teaming up against Solo, Jacob Fatu, and Tama Tonga. And the ragtag bunch get the W one way or another.
So let me ask you this about Sikoa.
Okay.
Because when he kind of burst on the scene and took over the new bloodline, as they call it, he was more of just kind of like the boss, didn't really say much, didn't really have a personality, was just kind of stone-faced the entire time and kind of was that dude. And as the storylines progress now, they've given him a lot more of a personality. Like, cracking jokes, and like, sometimes the crowd's behind it, sometimes they're not. Like, do you prefer, because like, think about with Roman Reigns. Like, Roman Reigns, when he first started the Bloodline, like, he was always like just the straight-faced killer, right? And like, that went on for what, a year it seemed like, until Sami Zayn got involved. Then they started cracking jokes a little more. Like, are you a fan of the new Sikoa, where he's more of like kind of the laid-back cracking jokes guy, because obviously he's afraid of Jacob Fatu as well? Or do you want to see him go back to just like that stone-faced killer? Like, yeah, I'm the leader of the Bloodline. You have to respect me.
I like this solo. I like the cracking joke solo, because I think we all know that eventually this becomes Jacob Fatu's thing, if it hasn't already.
Sure.
So I feel like I like the character that Solo is in right now. And I didn't mind the Tribal Chief character that he was in as well, but I think he's good in this role, and I think he can continue to be good in this role if you give him time to develop. But the question then becomes, like, what are you doing overall, which is my question as well, because you've still got the Braun Strowman, Jacob Fatu thing, but later in this SmackDown, there's a promo that Fatu's yelling at him, and they're going to go one-on-one next week. So this doesn't feel like a WrestleMania thing to me. So what are we?
Yeah.
They're just not in WrestleMania?
I mean, it's a great question.
Like,
you know, like,
we don't have room for you? Sorry?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Strowman's going to fit. I feel like it's going to be Strowman Fatu. But
I mean, how many times can you do that before? No, like, what is it? What's it going to be different in WrestleMania?
No, and I agree with you. But I will say this: like, out of this match, you know, out of the ragtag bunch versus the new Bloodline, I thought this helped Braun Strowman the most, because in the States, like, yeah, you know, he's the man amongst monsters, or, you know, he's one big SOB and everything. But I almost feel like the crowd, like, they respond to him, but it's almost like, yeah, we've seen it. Like, to me, like, the crowd's never really electric when Braun Strowman's on. No,
I agree.
The crowd's electric when Jacob Fatu's on there, because once again, he's kind of fresh, can do everything, big dude, should not be able to jump like that. The crowd here in Barcelona, like, almost elevated Braun Strowman as well, though.
Yeah.
Where I can see they try to build it back up again between Braun Strowman and Jacob Fatu. I don't know, like, what the stipulation would be or anything, but I can see the WWE going that direction.
Yeah, again. I just hope they don't.
I hear you.
Because I don't think there's any stipulation that could make it interesting is not the right word, because I'd watch it. But, like, I don't think there's anything they could add to it that would make me be that much more interested in it. 2 out of 3 falls, I'm good.
Casey,
yeah.
What about a 3-way match? Braun Strowman, Jacob Fatu. You ready for this one?
I don't think so.
Bronson Reed comes back.
Now that changed everything.
Bronson Reed comes back.
You know how I feel about Bronson Reed.
I know. You know how we both feel about Bronson Reed.
Yeah, I'm all in.
Yeah.
Even if we don't know. Even if we don't know it's a triple threat.
Yeah.
And, like, they're doing their entrances or whatever, and then boom, Bronson Reed. But in theory, wouldn't Bronson Reed be on the side of Jacob Fatu? Because when he left.
Well, yeah, you would think so, right?
But I like that.
Yeah, who cares?
I like that a lot.
Yeah, that is kind of a good point. He was at the new Bloodline, but who cares now?
Bro's just mad because he broke his ankle. He's out for revenge on everybody.
Exactly.
Ooh, I like that.
Gonna be the Arby's all meat match. I like it.
Oh, big fan of the all meat match. I do like that. Nonetheless, the Ragtags get the win. I guess. Extracurriculars, as you would expect, setting you up for a match next week with Braun Strowman, Jacob Fatu. Jade Cargill, she's finally speaking.
Yeah.
Which I've heard her talk before, but it throws me off every time she talks, because, like, her voice is just not what I expect. And I don't really know what I'm expecting, but every time she talks, I'm like, oh, it's like, just, it's different. I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like when you hear Mahomes talking for the first time. Like, it's just different. It's not what I saw coming. It's not that bad.
Oh, no. Like, but it's funny. Like, I remember exactly where I was, what I was doing when I heard Patrick Mahomes talk for the first time.
Oh.
Like, it was that, like, monumental. Oh. I got you.
It's a line that I've heard people say multiple times, and I remember the first time someone said to me, "Was like, have you heard Patrick Mahomes talk?"
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I guess I'm gonna look at it, and it's like, oh, holy cow. Anyway, Jade Cargill confirming that Naomi is indeed the one that pushed her, and she's physically healthy, emotionally not fully healthy, I guess you could say. And then randomly, here comes Liv Morgan walking through a live interview. I have to believe there were signs or something. And Liv's like, I don't care. I'm just going to walk through mid-conversation with Raquel.
Yeah.
And I guess that's going to be something.
It's looking like it's going to be something. I get why the WWE made this decision to, have this kind of like, it was in the arena, but it was obviously pre-recorded because nobody was there.
Yeah.
Right? And I think like they still want to like, give Jade time. I feel like if you put Jade in front of that crowd with like that live electric crowd, how is she going to handle it? Mm-hmm. So I guess it made sense to do like the pre-recorded stuff. My favorite part was when Kathy Kelly asked her, like, so how do you know it was Naomi? And I was waiting for Jade just to go, well, I watched her. She
pushed me.
I watched her put it. Yeah, but then, Jade, I guess, was kind of pulling, like, the whole concussion thing, like, lost her memory, which, if that's the case, then should she even be, competing?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I was wondering that same thing as well, like, when she was like, how do you know?
How do you know?
Jade's like,
hey.
Because I saw her.
I watched her push me through a windshield.
As I was flying through midair, I turned my head and said, oh, damn, that's my friend.
I mean,
Crash.
There's only one girl that wears neon everything in the WWE, and Asuka ain't coming back yet.
That's fair.
So it might have been Naomi.
You didn't even need a real, like, look. You
saw
the color, but like,
you could have been like
neon green.
Yeah, you close your eyes sometimes, but there's still like bright lights. You can sense it.
Yeah.
You could have sensed Naomi from a mile away.
Neon green, exactly.
She has that aura.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jade Cargill, alive somewhat well. And apparently is going to be mad at Liv Morgan next week. We'll see how that plays out. All right. First beef of the day.
Yeah, I got some too.
So you got B-Fab 2 weeks ago, whatever you want to call it, back in America, randomly going after Charlotte Flair. And I was like, okay, let's see how this turns out. And then she had a pretty decent promo, and I was like, okay, cool, I guess. Why not?
Girl came to play.
So then they fly to Spain.
Yep.
They give her a Jacob Fatu style promo as she walks to the ring.
Speaking Spanish.
Speaking a different language. And I'm like, okay, we got something here. She more or less got squashed.
Yeah.
What the?
Well, yeah. So let's build up. Here's my beef with it. I mean, I am a little mad because she got squashed, obviously, Charlotte Flair, so what'd you expect, I guess. My issue is like, okay, so you're going to Barcelona, European tour.
Sure.
Probably going to be a very electric crowd. And sometimes said crowd can cheer for the heel. We saw with AJ Styles, months back. I forgot where they were at when AJ Styles got like all that love. Scotland. Yeah, it was in Scotland where he was the heel, but like everyone was cheering for AJ Styles, saying, phenomenal. So maybe one would think that, hey, well, maybe Charlotte Flair might get cheered a little bit because, well, her last name's Flair. Her dad is an absolute legend. And to be fair, she's a legend in her own right. So why wouldn't you give the mic to Charlotte Flair to cut a promo before she walked out to the ring? Why wouldn't you have Charlotte Flair go off in Spain, say some, I don't know what you want to say, talk smack about the Barcelona football, whatever you want to do. But why don't you have her, like, at least establish that, yeah, I'm the heel and you need to boo me? Because halfway through that match, like, half the crowd was cheering for her. And you don't need that right now.
You do not.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a reasonable beef to have. I got more than just those two things.
Oh, I have more too, Casey.
So Charlotte squashes her for no reason. And then I'm sitting here thinking, now why did they make B-Fab do this? Like, when, no offense, B-Fab, but when she saw the schedule come out for European tour, in her head, I hate to say it, she thought vacation. Because she's like, I'm not going to be doing nothing. I never do anything. Like, all I do is occasionally, say something backstage. But no, they're like, here's what we're going to do. Charlotte hasn't wrestled on SmackDown in 4 years. We're going to give you that match. But realistically, don't actually show up. Just get beat. Tap as soon as she puts you in the leg lock. And then just lay there. And B-Fab was like, okay, I'll fly to Spain and do that.
Say no more.
So that was foul.
Being a team player. Because
I thought there was I didn't think she was going to win. I thought there was a chance they would do like they did with what's my guy? Axiom.
Yeah.
I thought for a half second B-Fab was going to get some run.
Give her that Axiom treatment.
No run.
No run.
Negative
no bump.
The only person that got less run was backwards. Austin Theory, and that was on Monday.
And then that's coming up.
We'll get to that. Okay, so she loses. Cool. Charlotte's still just not giving up on the leg lock. As expected, Tiffany Stratton, dressed in the exact same gear, by the way. Not sure if that was planned. Didn't really get a comment on that, but they were both wearing the exact same thing.
Yep.
And the classic just brawl, Malice in the Palace.
CM Punk, Seth Rollins from a couple weeks ago.
Everybody, we've seen the security guards getting involved again. I mean, we said last week that they needed to do something. Mm-hmm. Was that what they needed to do?
No. And here's my issues with it. Okay, because I have a lot of beef here as well. So Tiffany Stratton comes out. Okay, they're getting ready to throw down. And I guess I understand it. Like, they don't want to give them the mic. They don't want to go back and forth yet because, once again, hot crowd, maybe not confident in Charlotte or Tiffany Stratton's skills. Yeah. So let's go ahead and just, let's throw fists. Here's my issue with it. Okay, well, a couple issues. The biggest issue being you got to make it a little more realistic. You had, I don't know, 25 security members from Barcelona try to get in the way of that. I watched 5 security members back in the day with Bronson Reed, stop him a little bit when he was first starting to get his thing going.
Yeah.
We're talking about Bronson Reed here. With all due respect to Tiffany Stratton, I'm sure she's putting time in the weight room, and Charlotte Flair looks to be in great shape. How you got through 25 security guards, not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times. It's beyond me. And when I say get through, I'm not saying they just kind of they snuck around and no, overpowering grown men, which I get it, build the fight up and everything. But what I couldn't stop laughing at, Casey, is imagine these are grown men we're talking about here for the security guards, right?
Grown men.
Some of these men probably got families.
Likely.
Imagine going to your kids and listen, I had a fight a couple weeks ago, didn't go my way. My son was there. I had to tell him hey, sometimes we have to celebrate a win and we feel good, and sometimes we get clipped and we lose. And it's not so good, but that's life. That's how life works.
He's also a grown man.
Yes. I don't know what I would tell to my son when he goes, "Hey, Dad, how was work? I see you got a black eye there. Your nose is bleeding. What happened?" Oh, I had to. I had to pull some wrestlers off each other, man. I was working security, son, and it got a little physical. Oh no, was it Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns? Those guys are tough. No, it was not.
Wait,
oh, did Bronson Reed finally come back? Did he squash you? Did he lay on you? Tsunami, thank you. No, it wasn't. It was it was Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton. What? It was Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton. Oh, well, it was just you and you had to break them both up? Well, no, son. I had about 25 other of my comrades there. We couldn't get the job done. I'm sorry.
The fellas.
Yeah. And at that point, my son walks out of the house and wants to go get a new dad, I would say. But I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah, I understand the plan and the vision.
Me too.
The execution was just somewhat foul. I mean, again, security guards looking like the 2024 Jacksonville Jaguars trying to tackle somebody.
No.
I mean, just could not.
That's just a tush push.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But nobody was tush pushing.
No one was tush pushing
full on fighting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yep.
We just couldn't get a good grab, broken tackle. You know what I mean? Just not great. And it just kept going. That's the thing. It just didn't end for the longest time. And then it went to commercial and I was like, cool.
Yeah.
And then it came back from commercial and the Miz TV is on. And I'm like, I haven't seen Miz TV in 10 years. This is great.
It's been a minute.
I didn't even know they still did this gimmick.
Yep.
And Miz is out there talking. And here they come.
They're not done yet.
They're back.
They're not done. Cardio for days.
I love the plan to go, hey, let's just do this while Miz is going.
Yeah.
Just to screw everything
completely
up.
Disrespectful.
Yes, I love that idea. But the problem, once again, is how are we still just brawling? And they got away from all the security backstage and ended up back brawling. Not great.
I will say this. The whatever you want to call it.
It was pretty dope.
The moonsault.
Oh, you can't see the screen. I put the picture up.
Okay. That was pretty cool.
That is cool.
That was a nice spot.
She's way up there.
It was a great spot. I mean, I guess we get it. There's bad blood here, but why I feel like it worked better with CM Punk and Seth Rollins because we generally think they don't like each other.
Yeah.
Right? And they sold that. With this one, I can see it because I got the screen up on my computer here. She was high up for sure.
She was up there.
With this one, it's there hasn't been a lot of build up. There hasn't been a lot of mic work back and forth.
Tiffany told us she liked her and wanted to be her.
I know.
Which is fine, but maybe maybe they're doing that since they were wearing the same thing. Maybe lean into that more.
I guess, yeah.
Do the Tony Storm, Mariah May, if you will. But
yeah,
just I think they had the right idea. I think the execution was off, and I think it went on way too long.
Yeah, agreed.
But also, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I mean...
you couldn't have them talk to each other. I fully agree with that.
Not yet, not with this crowd. And that's the thing, right? So how do you purvey the fact that they don't like each other, and how do you get people excited for a WrestleMania match? And that's really the only way you had to do it, I guess.
Are you excited?
Not really.
No,
I mean, it's like I said, I don't know if you bring in, and once again, I get not the best look, but I don't know if you bring in a Ric Flair in Tiffany's corner to try to drum up some more interest. I'm not sure what you do yet, because where this one stands right,
we're 30 days away.
Well, where this one stands right now, I need a reason to cheer for Tiffany Stratton. I really do. I need a reason to hate Charlotte Flair or to cheer against Charlotte Flair.
Yeah,
because we haven't really got that yet. So.
Yeah, maybe soon.
Yeah,
maybe. Mm-hmm. We'll see. After they got that cleared away, Miz TV finally got to go on with Cody Rhodes,
and then more disrespect.
Just more disrespect. First off, this one's on Miz. I like the Miz. It'd be something if he wrestled every now and again, but that's fine. Keep flying across the world and don't get to wrestle. But you can't cut off Cody Rhodes during his music. I mean, that's foul.
Yeah, it's for sure.
You deserve what you're going to get, and we never actually got any Miz TV because Crossroads. And see, now that Crossroads put somebody out. Oh, I've seen Crossroads not even stun somebody, but Miz is dead.
Yeah.
So I guess good for Cody on figuring that one out. Cody's still looking for John Cena. More on that in a minute. I was stunned, flabbergasted to see Shinsuke Nakamura backstage. I was for sure he got cut.
Yep, for sure.
I was waiting for the tweet from all the wrestling Twitter, just Shinsuke Nakamura released by WWE, and didn't get that. So he's still there, somewhat kind of sort of involved in the Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre thing.
A little bit, yeah. I'm not.
Is that going to be a triple threat?
No, there's no way. I think Shinsuke, maybe he gets a match in the pre-show or something like that, or maybe he's selling T-shirts and catering during a commercial. But I don't think he's gonna. And it's dude, I say that it's supposed to be a joke. I think it sucks, man, because I like Shinsuke, and it's crazy how he goes from the United States champion to now all of a sudden almost irrelevant again. It sucks, man.
For a half second there, though, I thought, hold on, Shinsuke might butt his way into this and make it a triple threat. But also, I feel like I feel like this may be the most triple threats in WrestleMania history. So maybe don't do this one as a triple threat.
For sure.
But I was just surprised to see him still employed. Randy Orton making his appearance in Spain. The gimmick right now for Randy Orton, I'm a big fan of.
Yeah.
He's appreciative gimmick.
But also kind of a loose cannon, though.
Yeah.
Where he's ready to punt somebody if he gets disrespected.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
there's some of that.
Yeah. I
like the fact when he comes out, though, people are going ape because he's a legend.
Yep.
And he's into it where he's never been before. It feels like he's appreciative of the people cheering for him and singing his song and all that. And we've seen promos with that. I like that part of it. And then to the part where he's trying to kick you as far as he possibly can is setting you up for something wild. I just don't know what it is yet.
Yeah, I mean, because here's the thing, this is great storytelling, right? And this is Randy Orton for you, right? So he offers to shake Carmelo's hand to start the match off. Melo says no. Okay, whatever. Randy Orton essentially, it's not a squash match because I thought Melo had some good spots, but Randy Orton gets the better of Carmelo Hayes. Then after the match, offers to shake his hand again out of respect, which if that would have went down, I mean, now you're getting a little bit of a Orton bump right there. I mean, the crowd would have responded nicely. And Hayes goes, no, I'm all good. Disrespects Orton. And then Orton just kind of goes crazy. RKO owes him again and then threatens to punt him, which if you follow Randy Orton's career, anytime he's punted somebody, that's been heel Orton. That's been the legend killer Randy Orton right there. So, yeah, Casey, I agree with you where obviously you have Kevin Owens playing the heel in this WrestleMania match. But, I wonder, I don't know. I don't know if Randy Orton's going to threaten to punt him and maybe he, cooler heads prevail. Maybe he does punt Kevin Owens and goes heel again. Maybe he ends Kevin Owens' career. I have no idea where this is going to go. And you know what? I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on all that. Kevin Owens making an appearance. They get a little bit of a beef, not too much. Still plenty to do there. But I think there's a lot of options for Randy Orton at this point, and I kind of like where they all may go. They go to commercial. They come back with the 4. Did you see that?
Yes.
What is that?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Yep. We're good.
All right. We move.
Yeah, we move.
Gunther showed up to Spain, and I was wondering about this one because the international crowd seemed to like Gunther.
Yes.
Because,
Well, because he's European.
Yeah.
Right? So this is what I was worried about this too. I'm like, man, he's got to play the bad dude here. And like, how's he going to go over with the Spanish crowd?
And I think they played it perfectly.
They knew what they were doing.
He offends them on the mic, and then they bring out this dude who...
Barcelona's favorite son.
Barcelona's favorite son. I'm lost the whole time it's happening.
Lionel Messi, sorry, man. We got Axiom now.
We got Axiom.
Yep.
And Joe Testator, who definitely had never, ever heard of Axiom until they handed him the paper, which is fine. But, like, he definitely read it and was like, I'm not familiar with this person. And then went to Wade Barrett, and Wade Barrett was like, yeah, I got nothing for you. So then they walked to the back, and they went up to Triple H. They're like, is this a typo?
Meanwhile, Corey Graves just foaming at the mouth to get in there and call an Axiom match.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then when they get it straightened out that it's some dude from Barcelona, they're like, cool.
Yep.
And then multiple times there, I was like, Gunther, what are you doing?
Right.
You're fumbling. You're going to lose to Axiom?
Yep.
That would have caused a debacle.
Yeah.
It did not. Gunther gets the win.
One of the best, like, I found it funny. Like, listen, man, shout out to Axiom because I'm not really, too familiar with his work. Thought he did all right and everything.
Yeah.
The whole chopping back and forth, though, when he tried to chop Gunther.
Yep.
I mean, that was funny to me.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
The whole thing was surprising.
Mm-hmm.
Because as it played out, I was worried about the Gunther thing. Then they bring out a dude who I was for sure was getting squashed. There was no doubt in my mind this thing was going to be 6 seconds.
Correct.
It was like 10 minutes, and multiple times I thought Gunther was losing. So,
And they did a great job of getting Axiom over in front of his home crowd. Fantastic. But then they did a great job, too, of, all right, well, now Gunther got more heat because he just, put away the hometown favorite and then, decided to choke him a little after the bell as well.
now we're cooking.
Now
we're cooking with Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
More on Gunther in a minute.
Yep.
But we go to break. We come back with Paul Heyman, and I'm a fan of Paul Heyman's work.
Same.
What the hell was that?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Go home and play the video game.
Just a little filler, I feel like.
Because it's Roman Reigns Day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm also friends with CM Punk, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But the wise man, Roman Reigns. They're both going to be on SmackDown next week, not in front of you guys. But you poor bums could go fly to Italy to see them and remember play the video game.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Now, okay, so here's the thing. Did you see on Twitter that it seemed like they edited Paul Heyman's speech a little bit?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Well, the whole thing felt goofy, so I
thing.
could buy into that.
I don't know if this can't be AI, man, because it seemed like it was genuine, and even the crowd reaction was there. So on the Twitter video, I don't know if this is a telecast in off Netflix, whatever the case may be, but Paul Heyman said the whole line of you can fly to wherever, and you're not going to have somebody at the border trying to stop you, which was, I felt like a jab at our current president here, Donald Trump.
Sure.
So I wonder if Netflix or if WWE cut that part out because it was all over social media for a while.
Interesting.
So I assume somebody cut that part out. But even if you had included that part, which is a little shock and awe and everything, yeah, I felt like it was just kind of filler that didn't really need to be done.
Yeah, basically. It was just we want people to see Paul Heyman. Kind of like Cody. Cody just came out in Crossroads and was like, John Cena, you suck, and walked off.
I'll see you Friday, yeah.
There was a lot of we just want people to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, Paul Heyman, we'll see you next week, I guess. Thanks for coming. Gunther, thinking he was going to get in the mind of Big Jim, but oh no.
Stop with that, man.
Oh,
That's
no.
gotta stop. Yep.
Big Jim said, no, that's my guy.
Big Jim said, oh, that's right. My name is Big Jim.
Foul.
Yeah.
Foul. Mm-hmm. So that means nothing to anybody. And then finally, DIY and the Street Profits for the tag titles. All I'm saying, DIY gets this thing done if they just would have got their moment of silence in. Their moment of silence got screwed up 2 times.
That was the key.
And it just messed up the whole flow of everything. I would, though, once in the history of DIY, like a match to end an important match that they lose where Johnny doesn't kick Ciampa in the face.
Right.
Just once could we do anything else.
Right.
Because every time they lose, it's an accidental kick to the face.
I know. And then that's going to build up, are they going to, is it going to be a WrestleMania match between those two again? For like the 50th time we've seen that match.
I just wish they'd lose clean one time.
I hear you. No, I'm with you.
I get that's not the gimmick, but like this gimmick's kind of stale.
You happy to see new tag team champions? By the way, I've never seen so much belt flipping right before WrestleMania in my entire life.
I think what this is setting up for, because I think what's going to happen here is the Prophet. Oh, I have a picture. I forgot about the Prophets. My bad, y'all. There's your moment. You did it.
And they didn't really get the. I guess. By the way, they're heels, right?
It's hard to tell.
Okay, because like
they're supposed to be, I think.
Yeah, but they didn't really get their moment like when the show was going off the air, and maybe they're kind of strapped for time and everything.
Yeah,
but like for someone that just won like their tag team belts, they didn't really celebrate it that much.
Well, the whole tag thing is goofy because DIY are heels. Motor City Machine Guns, they tell us are faces, but
Raise your fist.
Pretty Deadly. Are they heels? Are they faces?
They're. I'll tell you what they are. Number one in America's hearts. Go on.
Fair enough. And then the Prophets, I believe, are supposed to be heels.
Yes.
But they just beat heels.
Yes.
So does that make them faces?
No idea.
Okay. So where I'm going with this is this. I think how this plays out. Because, by the way, they showed your boys Pretty Deadly twice.
Yeah.
Watching backstage as the number one contender. Shout out.
Getting that bump.
I think what happens is Pretty Deadly is going to take the belts off the Prophets quickly.
Okay.
Back to your point, all the movement. And then I think what it turns out to be is an 8-man tag at WrestleMania for the belts.
So you think, and this makes a lot of sense. Pretty Deadly
gets it before WrestleMania.
Gets it before then, but I'm sure like DIY comes in to stop the Street Profits or Motor City Machine Guns come in to try to cost them the match. Pretty Deadly wins. The world goes into a utopia because of the win.
Well,
but things can be better, and then it's going to be like an all-out.
I mean, it could even be a backstage thing. Like I think the only thing I think I'm pretty certain on is Pretty Deadly's going to take it from them quickly because then
that makes sense.
I think Motor City Machine Guns, who you saw go to DIY the other night, go to Aldis, and they're like, we never got our shot against DIY.
Yeah, this is literally hot potato with the.
Yes, DIY is like, hold on, we get a rematch with the Prophets. Prophets are like, hold on, we get a rematch with Pretty Deadly, and then Nick Aldis is like, dude, I can't get the whiteboard out again. So all y'all. WrestleMania. That's how I think it plays out.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong.
So, anyway, we'll see. But yeah, the Street Profits did not get many moments with the belts. They won them, they held them up, and Modern Family Reruns is where we had to go on USA Network. Could not possibly be anywhere else than there. All right, we moved to Raw. Wild.
Electric.
Thank goodness, by the way, this was not on USA because they would have had to go to commercial like 3 times.
Oh, yeah.
The whole segment was like 28 minutes.
Yep.
And the place is just going absolute bananas. Like, I don't know if they could feel that's how that was going to go or if Cena just had to like make some audibles while it was happening. But the crowd was unbelievable.
It's crazy, man.
From the second they saw him.
It's crazy.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And listen, people want to say John Cena's a bad actor. He didn't crack once.
No.
And they were just all over him.
So here's the thing, Casey. And I don't know if you probably don't listen to the this was so big to me that I had to talk about it on the sports show, the Brett and Austin show.
Really?
Yeah, I thought this was well done. Now, I've noticed that I feel like you get to say 1 or 2 F-bombs from the crowd, or like CM Punk can say one, but then they censor out everything else.
You're cooked after that.
I think that's kind of like the rule on Netflix, where you get 1 F-bomb for the show. You get 1. Then after that, censors.
Well, if you watch it in a replay, they censor everything.
I did not know that. No. Interest. Okay, that makes sense then. So maybe you get one live one, and then all of a sudden, but whatever the case may be,
you get 1. Better use it wisely.
Casey, I've never been a John Cena guy. Like I've respected him.
Sure.
I've respected what he's done for the sport. Make-A-Wish, all that stuff.
Yep.
It's been great.
Good guy.
But like as a wrestling fan, I've never been a John Cena fan. So when he came out and said what he started to say, and I'm like, oh, I see where this is going. He wasn't talking to the 18,000 in Brussels. He wasn't talking to the millions watching on Netflix. I felt like he was just talking to me. And I felt a little bad about it, the whole situation.
Really?
I'm literally just like, dude, I'm saying to myself, like, well, John, it's wrestling, man. It's what we're supposed to do. Like, don't be mad at me. Like, seriously, I've never had so much mental gymnastics listening to a promo than I did with John Cena trying to scold me for being a bad person for booing him.
Really?
Casey,
He got through you.
I literally thought like 5 times during the promo, I'm like, John, it's wrestling. We're supposed to do that. Like, it's okay. Like, don't be so mad at me for it. Like, we're supposed to boo you.
He got you.
He got me so good.
That's wild.
He got me so good, Casey.
Judge Platts 223 in the chat said, I honestly thought they were going to start throwing chairs. I assume he means the crowd at John Cena because it did feel that way for a moment. Here's where I was at. I didn't know where he was going.
Okay.
When he but one of the early things he said was, I'm not a heel. I was like, this is questionable.
Yeah, that's true.
And then he said, I'm not a baby face, whichever one he did first. I was like, where is he going with this? And he's like, I'm a human. I was like, dude, you've got to be kidding me. He's going to guilt us.
Yep.
We're the problem.
When he said that, I'm a human, I knew exactly where that was going.
I wasn't. I was like, what? We're the problem?
Yeah.
And then like he started spitting a little bit and I was like, he probably does get sick of the you can't see me thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, is he right? And then I was like, no, he's not right. A whole world good guy, John. What are you doing? The kids, John. Think about the kids. It's one thing for the adults, but the kids. He pointed out a kid in the front row, made him feel like a piece of crap.
I know.
And then they panned to that kid for like 1 second, and the kid was like,
Casey, for as much as he sacrificed and as much work as he put in, it was never enough. And I remember, like, I had a flashback to like 10 years ago being in Jacksonville. I just got the Jacksonville with the Jaguars, and I'm like front row at Raw, and here comes John Cena. And yeah, I'm trying to lead the Cena sucks chance, right? Like, I was right there, booing him, maybe give him a middle finger. Hated the dude. And it all came back full circle to me. I'm like, well, damn, John, it's part of wrestling, man. Like, what do you want me to do? I'm sorry. But it's too late. It's too late, Casey.
Wow.
Believe me when I say I was affected by this promo.
That's great. Well, I'm glad
I thought it was done great, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was done great, but I was just surprised where I didn't know what he was going to say, to be fair. I was surprised at the direction in which it went, that it was everybody else's fault but John Cena's, and I was like, all right. But then I was like, where does The Rock come in?
Yeah.
Because I'm still kind of like, where does The Rock come in? To the whole thing. But
because you don't really need The Rock. Like at
you
this
don't.
Point. Yeah.
The Rock is irrelevant at this point.
You just say, hey, listen.
You could never talk about The Rock again in this story, and I don't think people would be mad.
Because I think Cena's like that over with like what he's doing with this. Exactly.
He did it.
Yeah. Casey, I literally sat there thinking like, well, why did I cheer against him so much? Like, I mean, wait, was it the jeans? Well, I'm going to judge somebody on their style? Like, that's not my style because I don't care about what I look like. So why am I question everything. But it's too late. It's too late. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Cody comes out, obviously, and, Cody's Cody. I still can't get over, and I say this to Amanda every time Cody Rhodes comes on television, and you'll relate to this.
Hit me with it.
I cannot believe still that Cody Rhodes, who is the most over.
Sorry, Roman Reigns, but there's a new sheriff in town.
Oh, yes.
Like, Cody Rhodes is the guy now.
Cody Rhodes is the guy.
Mm-hmm.
That was the same Cody Rhodes who 6 years ago was in a Daly's Place parking lot.
Oh, I'm sorry. You mean getting bicycle kicked by Aleister Black?
Like, how is that the same human?
I have no idea, man. It's crazy, isn't it?
Every time the place goes nuts for him, I'm like, I saw bro in the parking lot of Daly's Place. Yeah. And before that, he was Gold Dust.
Stardust.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Same thing though.
I'm just like, how did this happen? Every time I'm like, I still can't believe that's the guy. And I'm like, good for Cody. Like, great for Cody.
I mean,
he is the reason. Don't get me wrong. The John Cena thing would have been shocking if he turned on anybody.
Sure.
But a decent amount of this is because of he turned on Cody.
Yep. Dude, it's
wild that Cody has
insane.
done this.
And it's really like, you always talk about, okay, finish the story. Like, it was that was the whole thing for a while. But when you look back on it, Casey, like, it is one of the wilder stories in all professional wrestling history. Because you talk about a guy, like you alluded to. He was Stardust. He was essentially a caricature. He was a joke that, was trying to mimic his brother. And he fades out of WWE.
It felt like he was only there because of his dad and brother.
Exactly. He was like the black sheep of the family.
Yes.
he goes to, and which is saying a lot because, obviously gold dust, but then you go to AEW, and like even there, you're billed as like the top guy for a bit, but then it's almost like, your friends are there, so you decide to play ball, and you don't need all the ego, so like you take a back seat a little bit, and it's more maybe mid-carders, and that's okay, like it's fine. I'm sorry, rewind that. You go to New Japan first.
True.
Reinvent your whole self. Now you're the American Nightmare, and you make a new name for yourself. You feud with Kenny Omega, and you essentially put yourself back on the map. Then you go to AEW, do all that stuff, and you almost like you're cool taking a back seat because you're like part, whatever. I don't want to say owner, but like you're part creative of the company. Your friends run the company as well, so you're okay just kind of just being another guy there, but you're not the top guy. And then that doesn't work out. That falls through. You go to WWE, and you get propelled right away to go take the top, and you tear your arm off in a million pieces.
Yeah.
And tear your bicep.
Yep.
And then it's like, okay, well, are we going to forget about you? What's going to happen? Well, no. Then you build yourself back up. You have another whole year of, doing your thing. Lose to Roman Reigns. Have another year.
Do it again. And now you're the biggest star in wrestling. Wild. It's crazy, Kasey. It's wild. And here's the thing. Tony Khan has not been perfect at the AEW thing and everything that he's booked.
Sure. And he'll be the first one to tell you that. He had a press conference saying, like, nothing, like, not all of it's been perfect.
And he didn't get to necessarily reap the rewards of Cody Rhodes, but he was spot on, as it turned out, to pick Cody Rhodes as the guy to like be the face of AEW when they started.
Yeah.
Now, again, he didn't get the full benefit of that, but also there's no scenario, I think, that Cody Rhodes is where he is without how the whole AEW thing played out. There's no way.
Yeah.
In AEW, I think early he proved that he could carry it.
Sure.
To a lower extent, obviously. It wasn't WWE. But AEW was hot for a minute there.
It was, yeah, absolutely.
And, I mean, again, it ended the way that it ended, and then he's where he is now. But
well, and here's the thing about that, Kasey. Like, yeah, AEW propelled him and put him in a new stratosphere. And then you go to WWE again, and like, let's be honest, there's some politics there, right? So it's like, okay, well, we have the AEW guy, so like let's go and push him because it makes AEW look bad. So they gave Cody the ball. At the end of the day, though, you still, they call him the QB1 now, but you still have to throw touchdowns. You still have to make plays.
Making plays.
And Cody Rhodes made some plays. So it's like, I get like, yeah, you were propelled and a lot of kind of things fell into place to your favor, but you still wrestled your ass off. You still cut amazing promos. Like, you still have the skills to back it up.
Absolutely. Yeah. So shout out to Cody Rhodes for that. On YouTube, also Judge Platt said, my mind went to some Attitude Era story plot. The Rock calling the shots, start creating factions. Hunter going to fight The Rock for control. Cena goes all mankind crazy, something wild like that.
Yeah, I mean, and this is the thing too, right? Like, if this is Cena's last run, which everyone's alluding to that it's going to be, it's got to end on a good note. Like, you're not just going to have like John Cena lose, or if he wins. Like, it'll end on a good note.
He's going to beat The Rock.
Probably turning on The Rock, yeah, which you hope. But once again, and I didn't even think about this case until you said it, I don't need The Rock right now.
You don't?
I don't. Like,
you do not?
I don't know. What is The Rock going to bring to the table besides, hey, Mama Rhodes? And, we're some good boys. We're very good boys. Like, just do it. You're going to.
Yeah, just don't.
Just don't.
You don't need it.
Yeah.
Don't do it until you need it. And the
exactly.
thing is, you probably don't need it.
I don't think
the
so,
only
man.
question is going to be, does he win?
I know.
Or does he lose?
Which you still can't really.
I still can't get a feel.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I'll stand by this. Cody and Jay are both not winning. Like, one is winning of the two.
Correct.
So the question is,
which one?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll see. To move some things along, Penta with the win over Ludwig Kaiser. Good match. Is anybody else getting interviewed after matches, or is it just Penta?
I feel like it's just
because as far as I'm seeing, nobody else is getting a microphone in their face after, like, an interview microphone. Then grab one and say you're
It's
garbage.
like Joe Rogan right after a fight, getting in the fighter's face. Like, yeah, I hear you.
Literally every match, there she is with Penta, and like, well, I get it, one up on AEW, sure, but like, why? He's over. Don't get me wrong, people love him, but just let him wrestle and then leave. Like, just let him do what everybody else does.
You know what I found funny too? I don't know if you noticed this. So Kaiser keeps like adding more and more to his entrance.
Yes.
Like, he's trying to, like, he's like the very like professional, good posture, demeanor, just very like,
Yep.
soldier-esque. But now he's like, He's trying to add more steps.
Yeah.
He's adding more like of an arch. Like, okay, keep doing your thing, man.
He's trying to figure out a gimmick. I don't know.
Trying to stand out.
We haven't seen him talk to Gunther in years, by the way.
I know, that's a good point.
I mean, behind this.
Shout out to Vici as well. Yep, miss you, man.
Yeah, Vici. Anyway, then Dom wants Penta to join the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Which I don't really have any. Like, you mentioned Karrion Kross a couple weeks ago.
Well, no, because Karrion Kross is doing great work now with AJ Styles.
Karrion Kross is busy. All right, Karrion Kross is busy.
It's just the haircut.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't care. It's great, dude. I
like it.
I mean, like,
part of me thinks he's gonna be AJ Styles with the hair.
Yeah, well, like, I guess his whole thing now is like he's like the puppet master. So there's like some kind of master plan. But coming out with the AJ Styles hairdo, yeah. Karrion Kross, I'm all for it, man.
Yeah.
Doing great work.
Listen, I like Karrion Kross. I don't think Penta's joining the Judgment Day, just to confirm, but like, is there a scenario where like they push Finn out and then because Penta comes like I have absolutely no idea.
Well, especially because, Ray, so it's been rumored that Ray Phoenix now is a free agent or is about to be a free agent from AEW.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to insert him right away, which is interesting because Penta is next in line then for the Intercontinental Championship, right? Yeah,
that's what it looks
like.
With
Braun Breaker.
It appears that way.
So I'm really curious. I don't think you're going to put him on the Judgment Day. I really don't. Wouldn't make any sense.
Back-to-back good weeks for Carlito, by the way, not actually in the wrestling, but ask Dom if he actually watches the show. I thought that was pretty good.
Pretty good comedy, yeah.
So 2 in a row for Carlito Bros hot. Keep giving him the mic. Dakota Kai, you're a fan of. Yeah. Ivy Nile, I'm a fan of.
Sure.
At some point, somebody in American Made has to win a match. Not a title, a match.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be Ivy Nile when she absolutely planted Dakota Kai on her head. Whatever that thing was, that was gnarly, and it looked dangerous, but Dakota Kai survived, and she still loses.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it, Ivy Nile. And I like Ivy Nile.
And then
just to fast forward,
someone showed up with the mask.
Yeah, so the Creeds then lose. By the way, again, for you, the Creeds.
Oh, that's right. That's my bad. Yeah, that was the Creed storyline, not the...
The Creeds are animals.
Yeah, they're great, man.
Really good. I was wrong again.
I feel like LA Knight's watching, and I forgot which Creed brother whichever one it is, that jumps the top rope.
Brutus.
I feel like LA Knight's watching that go, hey, just relax. Okay?
Know, right?
This is my... Come on. You're making it look pretty bad out here.
Too.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
And there's like another human up there.
I know. Dude just literally vertical jumps right up like it's nothing.
So where I'm at with the American Made thing is we got to have Ivy Nile win some.
Yeah, to take it more seriously.
Because like I could, and I'm in on it. I like this thing.
Yeah,
but like
it's got an old school feel to it.
I feel like you're so close and believable, by the way. Mm-hmm. And she lost already. But if Ivy Nile would have beat Lyra Valkyria, believable.
Mm-hmm.
If the Creeds, who are the tag champs on Raw? Men?
Well, I can't remember they wrestle the LWO, but I can't remember who the champs are right now. That's sad.
War Raiders.
Oh yeah,
where they've been.
We haven't seen them in a couple weeks.
But if the Creeds were to beat them, which they didn't, they lost.
They lost.
Believable.
Right. Yes, lost them a couple times. Because the first one's like by disqualification, right? And then the second one's I think straight up. Yeah.
But you could realistically have a ton of titles with American Made.
Without a doubt.
And I feel like you're not that far away from that actually, like no one is batting an eye at that. The only one, believe it or not, that would be like, is Gable. If Gable were to beat a Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
If he were to beat Penta, if Penta beats Braun Breaker.
Do you think this whole luchador thing is elevating or hurting?
I don't know what it is, Fuller.
I guess we got to see it through first.
I don't know what the payoff is.
Thank you. Yeah,
unless...
Kasey, uh-oh.
Unless...
Change the tone in his voice means something big's coming down the pipe here. What do we got?
Unless the payoff...
Book it, Kasey.
...is for Gable to beat Penta after Penta beats Braun Breaker. Penta wins the title, becomes the Intercontinental Champion, and then Gable beats him for the title.
And then you bring in Ray Phoenix to feud with, the tag team, the Creed brothers.
Sure. That's the only thing that makes sense. Because this whole thing, him going to Mexico and walking down the street and asking for people that he didn't know who they were, giving them a box, and then having an unknown guy that's not Chad Gable, just to confirm it's not Chad Gable, 2 weeks in a row, who is not in jail and flew to Brussels from America, not Chad Gable, to wear a mask and not get attacked by security until it's,
Barcelona had 25 security members for Stratton and Flair. You can't get one guy to catch
the masked man.
The masked man.
What the payoff can't just be a regular Monday night win for Chad Gable. Like, it's got to be him beating Penta for a title.
Yeah. This reminds me of like who was it? When it was Elias and whoever the brother was. I can't remember. Whatever.
Elijah.
I can't remember what whatever. No,
Elias, it was. What was his name?
Was it
Ezekiel?
Ezekiel. Yeah. Ezekiel. Where it was like, wait, does he actually have a brother or not? Like that was the whole
gimmick.
thing. Yeah, that's this gimmick all over again. And
sure,
like I guess it's comedy, but once again, like you don't really need comedy when we're talking about the Creeds and Ivy Nile and American Made, or American Alpha, American Made, yeah.
American Alpha is
America's
Otis,
Otis
Tozawa, and Maxine Dupree.
By the way, too much American stuff, but a little bit, but you don't need to make it like a comedy thing.
No.
And I feel like that's where this is going with this whole American luchador thing. But I guess we'll see what the payoff's going to be.
Contract signing, Bianca Belair, Io Sky was going down as they do. Adam Pearce finally had control over something. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, collectively. You can't see it, but there's a picture of Rhea Ripley signing the contract on the screen. What are we doing?
I'm not going to, listen, I'm a big Rhea Ripley fan. I think the entire universe is.
Yep. This ain't it.
This didn't make her look really like anything. This made her look like she was whining and complaining and not like, mommy, like this badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not good. I do not like this at all.
Gonna be a triple threat.
Which is, she's going to win, though. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Is Bianca about to win and Jade screws her?
I mean, Casey, I'll be honest.
Rhea Ripley's going to win the match.
I don't want to make it sound like this, but I really don't care. Because, with the triple threat match, okay, if you go Rollins, if you go Roman Reigns and CM Punk, that makes sense for a lot of reasons.
Yes.
Right? Like, Rollins hates, they all hate each other. There's different storylines between each of them, right? Paul Heyman's tied to Punk. Paul Heyman's tied to Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is tied to Seth Rollins with the Shield. And obviously Seth Rollins hates CM Punk. There's a story there. What's the story with this? How are they tied to each other? Just simply because you lost to them in a match and you're mad?
Not even. This is over Bianca Belair being ringside. And clapping. This, I'm not in. I like Rhea Ripley. I'm not in on this.
And by the way, your biggest female star and arguably one of your biggest stars in wrestling. This is what she's doing.
You could use her to put anybody else over. She could. How do I say this without sounding offensive? She could wrestle anybody on the roster at WrestleMania, and people would be in.
Correct.
It doesn't have to be this. And apparently, it's going to be this.
It's going to be this, and I don't what are we 30 days or whatever some change out from WrestleMania. I don't know how you're going to build this match up to get everybody in it, to get everybody enthralled. Where
other than the fact she's Rhea Ripley,
sure.
Unless Bianca's coming out of the match, I know she signed the contract. I get it.
Yeah.
Unless she's not going to be in it.
I don't. Yeah.
If Bianca's not in, I think it's worse.
I know.
And then just this was goofy.
Yeah, it was goofy, and it's not it, Casey.
If she was going to attack him, that's one thing. But when she picked up the contract and Pierce was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, to me, I know it was supposed to happen, but to me, I was like, she's just doing this. Adam Pearce doesn't actually have any clue what's happening. This is not scripted.
This is all improv.
That's what I thought because it was just so out of left field, made no sense.
It seemed like it.
So do not like that one bit at all. We're almost out of time, but we do have to get a couple things in. Jey Uso.
Squash.
Holy cow.
Squash match.
Why? Why even do it?
You got to put him over.
He's over.
Well, yeah. And then he almost hurt himself on the ropes. But
that was bad. That was not great.
Wasn't ideal.
Now, I know you can't see it, but you got to just remember it. We've had turtleneck Gunther. We've had suit and tie Gunther.
Mm-hmm. One of the strongest ones.
We have wrestling Gunther, which is just bro in underwear.
Which
is questionable.
Yeah.
We have black tea Gunther, but now we have to make an addendum to black tea Gunther and clearly state that we're talking about short sleeve black tea Gunther because now, as the viewers see there, we have long sleeve black tea Gunther.
Yeah.
This is tough.
This is final form.
This is final form.
This is final form. Charizard showed up. Game over.
This is Charizard. It does not get better.
We'll see ya. Thanks for playing. Yeah.
I mean, that's just tough.
I see it right now. I got it.
You do not survive long sleeve black tea Gunther.
No, Casey, correct me if I'm wrong. Was it a turtleneck Gunther too or not? Was he wearing it like a...
No, it was just regular. It was regular.
Yeah, see? And this is what I'm talking about, right? We've heard with the turtleneck Gunther, right? Kind of that he's like a soccer dad kind of Gunther. Not
a good Gunther.
Not a good Gunther. And we thought we had it all with black t-shirt Gunther. Thought, well, you can't outdo yourself here. Long sleeve, fitted, black tee Gunther.
This is him. This is final form.
Cody Rhodes better watch out too as well.
Cody Rhodes, I mean,
might be Gunther 2 belts.
Who's the UFC heavyweight champion at this point? You need to watch
John Jones, we'll see ya.
John Jones has no chance against long sleeve black tee Gunther. This is hard. This is a tough look. Do not let him. Do not let this man come out at WrestleMania in a long sleeve black tee. Bump the underwear. Well, wear something, please, preferably.
Yeah.
But don't pull a John Cena. I don't even know. Jeans, maybe not. I don't know. But if he comes out,
if he wore the jeans, I would be upset about it.
If he comes out in long sleeve black tee, Jey Uso is getting squashed.
Hey, Drew McIntyre, are you taking notes, by the way, when you try to come out with that long sleeve hoodie that didn't fit you from Hot Topic or whatever? That's how you wear a long sleeve black shirt. Yes. Gunther's putting it on for everybody.
Oh man, final form. Last thing.
Final form.
Braun Breaker demolishes Finn Balor. Finn Balor, 0 reaction. No cheer, no boo.
Shocking.
Nobody cares.
It's from Ireland, Europe.
Yeah, no reaction at all to Finn Balor. Braun Breaker gets the win, and then him and Penta face to face, which we've mentioned a couple of times here. Penta continues to get the push. I will be hot as fire if they take it off Braun Breaker for Penta.
Yeah, I feel like you can't do that, but
Penta doesn't need it.
I know, but he's getting all the mic time, Casey.
I know. Let him keep interviewing. That's fine. Don't give him the title.
Just wait till Penta comes out next week with a black long sleeve shirt.
Ooh, that'd be tough.
Then you're really screwed.
That would be tough. Oh, man. All right, that'll do it. The Scrap House.
It's been a time and a half, Casey.
We've got a long way to go. We've got some things still to clear up.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll figure it out, and we leave you with a shot of Austen in the studio. It's a rare thing to find.
Take it in, everybody. Which camera? Right here, Casey?
Yep, that one.
Yep.
It's a rare thing to find. Maybe you'll see it again sometime, but we're,
no promises.
I guess, on the road to WrestleMania trying to figure things out.
For sure.
One thing at a time. Scraphouse. Talk to you next week.
See ya.